Memorial Park extermination.
PS 思い出くらい大切にしておけ。
Still not the nicest thing to do. And again, you know, and this is kind of the main difference when you think about it between the more common jobs that you do in the for the Bracer Guild. Bracer Guild would never go for a that grey solution, not even in the wildest dreams. I am a lot more loyal to their clients for the most part. Not just for the most part, actually, they're generally a lot more bound by it. Let's see, okay, mystery game, interesting. Petty assistance, puzzle read experience, maybe to compensate you for your time. That's good. See if that also is a decision for me to make. I don't think so. Princess in peril. That sounds interesting. I mean, to be fair, there is no kingdom of Medivh, and there's also no kingdom of Calvert. I guess monarchies do lend themselves better to the whole fantasy touch, don't they? First Kaylee is hidden within the Siding District. Good. Seek the Mistress Taylor on the cutting edge of fashion. Well, that's easy. Because the Siding District is the only district that actually has a proper boutique, and even if that would not be clue enough for you, you get a fucking map. You get a fucking map. Mark out your map. You don't really need to be much involved. You know, just in case you are completely stupid and can't figure that one out, they even put the mark on the map just for you. Well, yeah, I think bribery will always be a problem, no matter the place, so, I know. Nothing to worry about. I look to the next key, where a metal box ferries passengers underground, so the subway. The man watching over it holds the key. Which would be the subway station at Riverside. Just a quick visit to the subway and seeing what's rolling down there. We just need to find one of the conductors and do the job right. Not to be in the title district, that's good. Just for a guide to the theater is it on that person. I mean, there's only one theater there, and it's not a classical one. But damn it, I haven't actually seen any classical theater in a long while now that I think about it. And again, I also haven't really watched any movies on the big screen in a long time, so there's that as well. Didn't really seem like there was anything worthwhile, to be fair. But hey, good old-fashioned theater. And that can be quite a fun little experience. Really should check out if I can get there. Or, accompany someone, to put it rather mildly, because I am, for fuck's sake, not able to pay for it. Shall we got ourselves the last key? That's what we hope. There's indeed a cafe named that. We've been there quite recently, to put it mildly. See, even I can remember that, and I'm not good with names. If I can remember that, there's really no excuse anyone could ever make. Well, that's not much of a princess. I mean, the puzzles weren't really much to talk about. They're quite easy. Maybe, you know, up the difficulty of the riddles just a tiny little bit. That's coming from me, mind you. I hate fucking riddles. Like, the only way I usually get through them is by memorizing which option I need to pick, and then just go off that. It's not like I actually know the answer, I just remember, okay, if question 1 comes up, then answer is second. Or third, or fourth, that doesn't matter. Ain't another joke well and truly done. Means we're getting ever closer to the moment when we actually have to do some good old-fashioned inventory management, if we want to or not. But of course, before that, we can also endeavor to do a few more things. along this line, because now we have all of the retimes, and that means we can get the mini events out of the way as well. Easily peasily. Yeah, just 2,000 euros spent, that's nothing. Just in the span of time we went through this town, which is not actually that long, I spent at least 30,000-40,000. Easily. Joey decided to do some painting. It's more like sketching, to be fair. There's no foul play involved. We quite literally just went shopping and then, you know, painting. There's nothing going on with that. There's no forbidden activities here, as far as I'm concerned. Unless somebody has made, you know, someone watching somebody painting illegal that I wasn't aware of. I'm sure there's at least one country somewhere in this world who would do this. I wouldn't be surprised at all. However, the most common denominator would dictate that that is not so. But that's not for the moment. Actually, yeah. One with Dingo and one with Utilitarian. That's interesting. I'll take a nice little sneaky peek at it. That guy's not really good at tailing people, is he? Neurobonian, eh? That's something. I would assume that you wouldn't really let somebody into your little secret agency that comes from the outside. For good reason, for the most part. The triple agent, well, that's quite a thing to put on your resume, I must admit. I mean, it's Lechtam, of course he would. Shit, schmeckt Jebel right in the middle of all of their little operations, like a spider in its web and going like, hee hee, what else can I fuck up? They're pretty good at that, to be fair. Gifted. But I mean, to be fair, you would probably not, you know, apply for a double agent position if in your resume you're writing down triple H. Quadruple? Why don't we go for that? At which point you're kind of breaking on out and coming back full circle. Basically, now, when you started spying so much in so many different directions that you end up where you actually started and like, well, shit, I know this wall. I've been here before. Sheldon, that's a very next. I mean, I get the idea, you know. You're trying to be smart here as the agency. You're like, okay, we're gonna hire this guy. He's clearly suspicious. And we're just gonna hire him and go like, gotta keep an eye on him and make use of that. However, that comes with so many risks that I don't really think it would be worth it. I would probably go like, no outsiders allowed. No foreigners allowed in my little agency. I wouldn't like that. Oh yeah, we actually plan to go for the whole quadruple, eh? Pretty sure if he's... I mean, he's pretty high up the ladder at this point, you know, he's not just a fucking field agent, he's actually sitting nice and comfortably for most of the time as an analyst, so Pretty sure he makes enough money that he can afford all the desserts he wants. Also doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who has a tendency to go out regularly to, you know, enjoy expensive drinks or anything. So, should probably have a decent amount of money. After all, you know, usually when you have your little information dealers for a national level, you kind of want to pay those relatively well, because otherwise they might just decide that, you know, the other side has far, far, far greener grass. You really don't want that now, do you? But it's the last one we have going. Oh, fair enough. I mean, not only have I seen James Bond, mind you, the old ones, I've read James Bond. I really did like the old James Bond movies. They were great. The newer ones, they lost me. Very much so. Because James Bond was not supposed to be just another action movie. Indeed. When it comes to that, very much a cultured man. Very much an enjoyer of that particular culture. The good old days. See, that's just the reason why people go like, yes, the older days were better in many, many regards, because there were things that were just outright fucking better. There's no debate there. It's just how it is. Indeed. Indeed, little strategy. She's far too well informed, or she has a really good nose. Shall we have turned our business around and become a Starker? Well, fate has conspired against us, I suppose. I mean, you know, some of the inspirations that you use for making your nice little tools in movies are, in fact, not just inspirations, but you're just basically copying what's already there. And, man, and of course not true for all of things, you know. Movies do need a certain amount of extra flair, let's say. Added on top of that, because pure realism has a tendency to be, not necessarily boring, but not nearly as interesting as you could make it with a bit of good old-fashioned fantasy added on top of that. But yeah, some of the tools are actually quite close to what we had, or still have, technically speaking. chafed by the belly. Good old-fashioned war photography. You know, the kind of thing where a journalist actually would need a solid pair of balls to do it, because, well, that would mean that you actually be quite a bit closer to the bullets flying than is usually hell-free, you know. I mean, which is obviously rather true, you know. Civilians are nice, and according to all wartime regulations, you're supposed to not attack those. But let's, for example, say that you need to bomb a block of factories, for example, in the middle of a city. Well, some of the bombs will miss, and they're gonna hit something. Now, technically speaking, what you could do is, you know, you could be smart about it. You could be like, okay, the civilian population, you have a day to evacuate. If you're not, you're gonna be considered combatants, and then it's everything good, but, you know. There are many excuses yet you can come up with, either before or after the fact, to justify your actions, and generally speaking, yes, civilians aren't nearly as well off as, you know, they would like, especially not in wartime. That's just how it is. The reality is that sometimes decisions have to be made, and those decisions will not necessarily be nice. That is the war. But I also actually, you know, gives people like this guy, who does some actual journalism in that particular area, or has done so in the past, a good reason to exist. Because, you know, if the journalist would actually go out there and get a few nice photos of the shit that is actually happening, and that would have a lot of impact. And you can't really, you know, bend the truth nearly as easily if it's actually photographic evidence of what's going on. Which has nowadays become also a problem, because nowadays you can fake photographic evidence also pretty fucking easily. It's a bit of a problem. Well, yeah, point being, you know, technically speaking, I'm not allowed to attack them, but then again, it's easy enough to declare, for example, some stray civilians as paramilitary combatants, if you really want to. You can get away with that easily enough. After all, you know, after the fact, it's always a bit difficult to determine what has precisely happened. So, I'm not saying that it's an okay thing to do, but it has happened at least more than once, I can very confidently say.
お互い背中を見せる必要がある者同士、せいぜい精進するとしよう。
More bonus stats. I do love myself some good old-fashioned bonus stats. They get my blood boiling. For what reasons? Helps. And what else did I manage to get locked in? More drivers. That's good. I think with that out of the way, we've actually done all of these side objectives, so it's time to do the quote-unquote main quest in this part. I mean, you know, at this point it's rather obvious how the chapters are structured. You basically have a short little section, you know, in Edith, yeah. You usually start of the chapter, then you go to the actual location of the chapter, and then set location usually has like 2 days that you spend there, and that is basically how the chapter is structured. It doesn't really take a genius to figure that out. At least not from where I'm looking. To be fair, in my case, I've played through this game multiple times, so I do have an advantage there, I suppose. We do. I can pick you now. If you declare like, listen, we are gonna attack these factories, so that people are warned. Something you normally don't want to do because surprise is actually quite efficient at helping you along the way. So you don't necessarily want to warn them. But if you have warned them, you know, you have given them enough time that they could reasonably evacuate, and if they haven't at that point, well, at this point, you know, their own fucking fault for being stupid. I'm not gonna argue that point. Then you can't have an efficient war and have it humane as well. That's just how what it boils down to. Warfare will never be humane, and it should never become humane. Because, well, that would just make us engage with it even more. I would rather avoid that particular nonsense, to put it mildly. Now then, let's remove everyone's equipment and start doing our equipment again, I suppose. I do hate how this is set up. Okay, I see. We did pick up one good ring if memory serves. Yes, we did. Prevents ailments with 75% chance. It's not the best one. I think there's one upgrade to this that gives you 100%, which is kind of what you want to go for. CPU up would be pretty neat considering how much I fucking use his fucking drafts. No question about that. Anything else I do want to need? Accuracy plus 50% would be rather nice. We're sitting at 100 though, so we don't actually need it at the moment. But mildly. It's probably because of the grip, isn't it? Probably is actually. Anything about it. If I had a bit more, if this would be my second playthrough, I would probably maybe try actually make him into something like an evasion tank or something. But I do kinda like doing that. You can get away with that for the most part. Or more HP. HP is always nice, but I think this one is gonna help along my ideas quite well enough. On your case, little lady, actually, before we continue doing this, you give me 20% accuracy? Yes, you do. Well, you kinda need that at the moment, sad as that might be. You, little lady, would need a lot more in the way of accuracy. Now, technically speaking, you are my main caster, to put it mildly. Let's make something like this probably a rather obvious choice. How much ATS can we get though? I'm probably gonna take this because just, you know, accuracy. Okay, it would be plus 20, it's not bad. 10. Plus 30%, not bad. We do kinda need to spread it out a little bit because everyone kinda should get a bit of a bonus, at least to their accuracy. Because let's be honest, yeah, all the hit rates have been decisively not too impressive. I'd rather like to do something about it. I could give you that and you would be at 100%, but because actually part of your job is to cast magic. Rather give you that. God damn it. Why do I always want to push the wrong button? Now, in your case, little lady, we'll have the same fucking problem. Really wish I had bought a few more of those, but nonetheless. Money was a concern at the time, and money is still a concern. 55%. Not too impressive, I must say. Not too impressive indeed. If anything else that gives a bit more. I guess that is. God damn it. Good enough. Good enough, at least for me and for government work at that matter. Check with you actually. I do have one more pendulum that I could give you. That's 5 evasion. It's not bad at all. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, now that we're dead out of the way, we have to deal with this shit. Damn it. Nah. Need to remember extra skills. Is it an extra skill or what? Is it a drive skill? It is a drive skill, Arc Feather. That is one of those really, really useful ones, mind you. There's a nice amount of damage to put it nicely and mildly. These are all just protective and honestly never really gave much of a shit about them. These ones, stuff like Fatal Lance is pretty useful, obviously. Because basically, you know, makes it far easier to kill your enemies quicker. What do we need for that? Earth and time. Yeah, quite a bit of it actually. In that setup would probably be a bit of a pain in the ass, but well, never. Since she's also not really that much of a caster, I guess Arc Feather wouldn't really work well for him. He's relatively free to get the rest as we please. Actually, wasn't there... Is an auto-equip option, isn't there? Cute. Not gonna change much because, well, we have very, very limited amounts of them. The point where we don't actually have enough to fill out all the slots yet. We really need to work on that. On one hand, I do think we should absolutely work with this a little bit more, because we can absolutely fine-tune this. This is basically just me putting them in at random, for the most part. However, it really only makes sense to start doing this a bit more, or well, dealing with the mailing systems a bit more in depth once you actually do have a few more options. Just a few more options, parts-wise. Still love this music though. Yeah, I could just sit here in this fucking area and let the music play and go like, ah, I'm done for today. You can now just watch me the next hour or so, just sit doing some random paperwork while I'm listening to this music. However, I'm not that cruel. I'm just gonna quickly look if there's anything else for us to pick up along the way, or can we just endeavor on the next mission? We can, can't we? Oh, it's not really seeing anything. Yeah, no, it actually seems like it's quite the option to go. But yeah, as soon as we actually do have enough quads that we can reasonably fill out every slot, and that's not gonna work well because we're gonna pick up another character, of course. Actually, one character I like. To be fair, I like most of the characters. That's not even a lie. There's one I'm thinking about that is not... I mean, I guess it's interesting enough. Kinda saw it coming from a mile away, but it was interesting enough and amusing enough, so I don't know, I'll leave that to open for debate for later times. I think actually the reveal happens in the second game. Memory serves. Maybe. My brain has a tendency to throw these things together. For example, you know, in the second game, the field combat gets a bit expanded, and you can actually cast magic, your art, or well, small variants of it, in actual field combat, which is quite a nice option. They make it a bit more fancy, basically. Which means if you then go back and play the first one, this one, you end up in this situation where it's like, Brain is confused. Brain doesn't like. Yeah, I think before I continue running around like a headless chicken towards the next danger, probably pick up a few more things. But yeah. Action, stuff like that is pretty good for a fighter. You should have stuff like fast, and I don't think I actually have that on you, do I? Or for example, having Ferry with EP cuts too. Quite useless, because he's not actually that much of a main caster, at least for me not. He's not really that good of a physical fighter as well, but yeah, get away with it. Yeah, stuff like I mean, I guess I can justify the evade on him, because he does have a lot of specifically green slots, but And I just say that there's quite a bit of optimization you could do. What we could do for a fun example, once we got a few more of those, we could actually see what happens if we unequip all of them and let the auto-equip do things. Just to get an idea, because I don't think I ever used the auto-equip. I don't trust auto-equips for the most part, is what I'm trying to say mildly and politely. Because quite often, and that is what that boils down to, is that the actual developers of their games have not actually nearly as deep an understanding of how to fine-tune their own system when it comes to actually playing them, mind you, than the players. They usually come up with your own strategies for the most part. A lot of those involve, of course, relatively easy things, you know, like, for example, abusing certain skills, for example, that were not meant to be such abusable, but they are. Like Green's Arc Slash, for example, or they're so-called delay build. I'm pretty sure you can do this in this one as well. Oh yeah, you can actually somewhat, if you make use of the Arc Feather, because I think Arc Feather, what it's called, is actually giving your enemies delay. And the idea of a delay build is, of course, that you delay your enemies so much that they get ever little and ever less turns, so they can't actually do much. It can be quite hilarious, let's just say. Especially in certain boss fights, it can be rather hilarious. I remember that. I remember some very, very sad enforcers. Okay, I think before we continue on, I'll just quickly grab myself a new drink and wash my hands, because once again, still not really... It's better than yesterday, but it's still not really cold. Sad as that might be, is after all summer. Can't really do anything about that. Much as I would like to. That's... Well, but just as I got up, fucking bulb has decided to stop working. Oh well. Gonna be a bit dark in here, but I guess I'll have to suffer that, because I actually don't have any light bulbs for that particular light at the moment. Gonna need to have to buy some then tomorrow, if I want to or not. Otherwise, you know, it's gonna get dark rather quickly in here. But well, it is what it is.
失礼します。ってこの番号は。もしもし、先輩ですか？ちょうどよかった。実は今日は戻るのが遅くなりそうで。実家から？です ですがこれから。
It sounds annoying.
ま、戻るかどうかはあなたの判断に任せるわ。わかりました、先輩。
We kitty.
すぐに戻りますので。
Swear to God, at some point I'm gonna murder you.
はい。
Most brutally
失礼します。
and violently.
すみません。休養が入ってしまって。はい。どうか気をつけてくださいね。その用事を片付けたら事務所に顔を出しますので。
That's not good. I'm a single team member now. Well, yes, people have many, many reasons to hide things. Nobody was surprised. For some mysterious reason, in the very least. I have to do this with 3 people now. That is rather disappointing. Also not good for leveling. When somebody is missing. Then again, we're at the beginning of the chapter. We still have a lot of areas with a lot of monsters. Right in front of us. Oh well, oh well. Can't be that much of a problem. Speed-wise. Actually, is there more to buy here? Don't think there is, but you know. Better check. You know, there's 32 things on the list here, and well, one of them we get automatically, so that is not something to consider much, and the other is specifically the first door we just bought. So nothing really to worry about. Time for some good old-fashioned monster extermination. Nice, easy, and simple as we like it. Indeed. Poor little fairy. Yes, so much she'll need to learn, but then again, you know. She's rather young, 13. And for different reasons had a very sheltered upbringing. Not only you get sheltered because you're a rich little girl, no, you get sheltered because you have very different priorities to go for. Why is it these streams that attract bots so much? It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, come on. During most of the Ace Combat streams, we had no problem with that whatsoever. Now we have this nonsense to deal with. Yeah, damn it, let's actually get through this. What do these fucking bots think I will do if they spam me all the time? Do they really think that's going to endear me to them in any way, shape or form? Who the fuck would even click on such a suspicious fucking link? It feels like it's an invitation to get yourself a fucking virus. Alas. Can I get this 12 to the side? Okay guys, we'll be on the side. That's nice. Bit too high level to deal with you easily. Rather annoying. Rather annoying indeed. Right, should read game. It was like, no, you're not supposed to reading it. If you were supposed to reading it, I would make it in a box. But fair enough game. Bit more in the number department than I was hoping for. But alas. Castro. I just know the person who would like to use that. However, that person is sadly not with us. Pain.
アースが有効な敵よ。
始めるか。せや。ほら、なんだ。
戦闘終了。データを処理するわ。
そうなんだ。せや。もう一度。せや。ほら、崩れた。
次。
100年早えんだよ。
Where do you look funky? That's pretty obvious where the way forward is then.
ここは物理攻撃が進めよう。
Yeah, sa.
そこだ、フェリー。押せ。
いい手応えです。
Quite worth it XP wise though.
フェリー。宝箱で。
敵の群れが相当しますか。
こいつは効くぜ。切り裂け。フィーバータイムだ。
おまけです。後期です。
押せ。チャンスだ。
おまけです。後期です。
もらった。
Ah, such a nice thing when we can actually hit them relatively regularly.
いい手応えです。
チビにしちゃ上出来だ。
Indeedish. My good old version accuracy, such an important little thing to have.
ここは物理攻撃が進めよう。
こいつは効くぜ。切り裂け。そこだ、フェリー。もらった。宝箱当然だね。
アースが有効な敵よ。
こいつは効くぜ。切り裂け。相手が悪かったな。
ここは物理攻撃が進めよ
そこだ、フェリー。押せ。
アーロンさん。スキアリ。
ここだ、おっさん。もらった。そこだ、フェリー。押せ。
And another one there didn't. Exterminate touch, es ist only good and proper.
こいつは効くぜ。切り裂け。決めろ、アーロン。出番だぜ、チビ。押せ。
炎とアルーシャに感謝を。
バッチリだ、フェリー。
Another little chest. Right, I was about to say, why don't we see the chest on the map? Well, obviously we don't, because the one who actually has this ability is not in our party at the moment. Yeah. Good on me though, that there's also an external map that I can look at, that hopefully has all the treasure chests.
お、宝箱だな。
One can hope. 400 of each, that's neato. I'm actually gonna help us with our long-term goal.
これで半分くらいですか。
なんだ疲れたかよチービー。
アーロンさんこそさっきの話はキレがなかったかと。何ですか。